Where we light up the spot, we're trading crypto, finance, you'll be mad on the charts. Hosted by the one, Lunar Beaches top shark. Dive deep into the numbers, cause this ain't no lark. We're crunching all the data, making money moves fast. From Wall Street to the blockchain, making predictions last. Community together in this financial blast. Markets after dollar shatter ceilings made of glass. Mad on the charts with rulers by lights. Crypto markets soaring through the night. Follow the trends, see future in sight. It's markets after dark, the financial flight. From Bitcoin to Ethereum, we're mapping the road. Stock tips and insights, secrets ready to unload. Trading strategies, sharp on knowledge be showed. Let Lunar Beaches guide you to the mother lode. Economic loops and the way the dollar flows. Community vibes where everybody grows.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Markets After Dark, where we go mad on the charts. What is going on, everybody? Hope you are doing well. Good connection. Why not a great connection? Restarted the router. Tried to do some stuff. I think I just got to get a new PC at this point. But what's going on, guys? Welcome to Markets After Dark, where we go mad on the charts Sunday through Thursday night, right here on the Piper Academy Network at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're doing it live. Hope you all are doing well and had an amazing day. We've got lagging, or is it just me? No, it's not just you. It's a constant problem for some reason. I honestly don't know why. It's recent. I've reset my routers. So I don't know what's going on. Anyways, but that's okay because TradeFly is live, so he doesn't have any lag going on. So maybe you can go watch him. Okay, audio is good, not cutting out. Cool. I closed my trading view, so it's probably going to be good for a minute, and then as soon as it opens back up, it'll probably go lagging again. But I just wanted to see if restarting my trading view might help with the lag, because I tend to keep it running. I also haven't shut my computer down in a while, so maybe I need to do that. Actually, we did have a power surge. I don't think it's been right ever since. Oh well. We do what we can, when we can, how we can. It is what it is. But let's go ahead and welcome the Madhouse. Good evening, Madhouse. How are you all doing? Good evening to all three of you. Good evening, Alexandra G. Unit. What's going on, Mod Queen? Hope your day was great as well. Trade Intuition. Bingo and a bango. What's going on, my guy? Melissa, one love. Shout out to you. Oh man, you guys are amazing. Almost hump day. Yes, it is. So hopefully, yeah. Hopefully, we got some stuff on the horizon. We got tariffs. We got reciprocal tariffs coming down the pike. Tomorrow we got Trump speaking at 3 p.m. I think it's done in my time. So probably 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So we'll have to watch out for that. Of course, that is after markets close. So I guess he's wanting to wait for after the markets close before he speaks. That way, it's just the overnight market that gets wrecked. We shall see. We shall see. Harp, what's going on? I saw you over there in Trade Flies chat, so you must be hopping from stream to stream, which is cool with me. My trading view is not loading at all. I've got to get this worked out, man. What's going on? All set. Hope you're doing well. Man, this is just like it's not loading at all. Come on, trading view. Can't do a stream without trading view. I mean, I can just sit here and talk today. So yeah, I don't know. Your video live game is stream live on TikTok. Blah 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 blah. Okay, I don't care about that. Trader view. What? Why is it trader view? Why are they traders? Oh wait, we're all traders. Oh, not that kind of trader though. What's going on? Wick 589. He's back. He's back to the Wick 589. Hello. Hello. Well, how you doing then? Phone and MacBook multitask. There you go. There you go. If my Streamlabs ever wants to load, I will bring it up. But it is currently struggling for some reason. Not entirely sure. Also, for some reason, my MetaMask keeps coming up whenever I open up my Google Chrome. Don't know why that is. I wonder if a different browser would help. I don't have a VPN on, so it's not that. So, I don't know. I don't be knowing, but great job on BGT tonight. BGT. Yeah, hopefully it was a great night on the Billy Goat Tales. Missed it again. I got to get back on track on getting on those. But hey, things happen. So today we did get a nice little move up in the Bitcoin, as you can see over there. Nice little move up. Still range bound. So we'll have to your ish is freaky though, yo. It's your VPN. Dropped frames detected 68% over the last 2 minutes. Why? Oh, great. Wait, what just happened? I quit. Just kidding. April Fools. One of my routers one of my Wi-Fi boosters to see if that helps at all. It's mad. We'll see if it ends up helping at all. Lately, Windows has been while, and I've had more hard resets and manually updating settings than I have in like years. Maybe that's what it is. I do have Windows, so I don't know. What's going on, everybody? All right. Give me a 1 in chat if you can hear me now and everything's okay. Ah. 8 votes, 75% of you are bearish. Well, as expected. Yep, I gotcha. I gotcha. Warning, stream health, not good. Why does everybody always tell me my health's not good? Are we good? Are we live? Wi-Fi says we're still on. All right, guys. One of these days I'm going to get this figured out. Dropped frames 83% over the last 2 minutes. This is annoying. I might have to cancel the stream until I can, like, just stop doing the stream until I can stop having lag. Anyways. All right, guys. So I've been eyeballing this daily. We getting a Dumpsy Dude tomorrow? Maybe. So I was eyeballing this and calling this out today. This fair value gap on the daily chart. Go ahead and click on here. Here. Here we go. Bang, bang. All right, and what I was wanting to see was a daily close above the midpoint of that fair value gap. And we closed literally dollars below it. But that doesn't mean all is terrible in the world. We could get an immediate rebalance, which just means we come down to this level here, the Monday wick, the Monday high, and then get a push to the upside. Potentially getting a dump first and then a push to the upside. But the main level that I am most concerned about us getting above before we can flip bullish is this 88,740 level. That's the main level that I want to see us get above and close above. Until then, we still cautious. We're still risk off. We're still generally bearish. Now, if we are to get up there and take out that high, so like I said, we could come down, back test, breaker block, and then push higher. We kind of want to see us get a nice break above, and then from there, we can chop around for a little while. And if we do this, wait for a dip below the low, and then another push to the upside. This is the way. This is the way. This is what we need to see. Now, I know Piper is screaming all about the macroeconomics, and rightfully so. However, sometimes charts don't really care about your macroeconomics. At least, sometimes, just for a short period of time, they can be irrational. And we could be setting up for an irrational scenario here soon. Now, if we come down and break below this low, then and give it a nice bearish back test and continue, then we're probably going to lose these lows as well. Both of these lows at the minimum, both of these lows. Remember this because I'm going to tie this in with something else a little later. Here soon. Troubleshooting couldn't identify the problem. Cool. So, remember this push down. And if we get something like that, then this is still going to be what we need to see for the bullish scenario. Bearish, we just continue lower. Could go up, could go down, if this then that. Yeah, I know. To me, I am leaning a little more bullish. It's not an April Fool's joke. After doing more charting and just from a chart standpoint, I'm not really bullish on the macroeconomics, the macro conditions. Of course, everything says risk off. But I'm still holding on to my conviction that we have one last move to the upside. Ways that we can take a, kind of maybe make that a reality. But first, we need to take a look at the Dixie. Hola, French Toaster. What's going on? 2Dub in the house. Good evening. Good evening. She's actually awake. Or is she sleep talking? We may never know. Blotchy Compsci. Blochem? Biochem. That's an I. Biochem Compsci. What's going on? Hope you are doing well. Boss. Yes, Boston does suck. Tell the people we bet audio. We bet audio. Okay, +1 Lunar. All right, so let's zoom on out on the Dixie. Let's actually go to the Capcom. All right, because this one has volume, so I like to use this one. Magnet. We're gonna pull a fib. All I care about is premium discount, and right now we are sitting in discount. We do have a little bit of a fair value gap in here that the weekly has come back to test. Let's drop this down to the daily. Okay, so we get the big energetic move pushing down, taking out the low. So now what I would expect out of the Dixie is for a pullback into this order block. Lowest low is actually this candle right here. Lowest low before the move to the upside. We also overlap on fair value gaps, so that's going to be a strong level to watch if the Dixie does make a pump to the upside. Okay? That would be a roller on the Dixie. So these, I'm kind of building this out, okay? Sleep modding. What's going on, Army? Piper, it's a thing. Yep, there you go. So the Dixie, I would look for this move back into the premium of the range, and then look for that bearish back test of this order block. Now, if the Dixie is going to push up like this, then that could mean with our risk on assets, they're inverse correlated, so they could push downwards. Now let's go over to BTC USD. And actually, I'm going to take you guys off of the screen here. Sniper's Nightmare. What's going on, Sniper? Good morning, Sniper. Going on your walk? Thank you for joining the stream, my friend. I've got to turn the chat off. All right, because I'm going full screen. Well, not yet. Because I've got to, well, I guess I could still go full screen. But we're doing 3 chart layout. If my computer has the bandwidth to do that. I'm going to have to move this. Oops. Move this over. All right, so we've got the S&P 500. Now, I've talked to you guys about this before, this being the SMT divergence, which is when you get 2 highly correlated assets diverging in price. This tends to be a smart money or institutional showing of the hands. You're essentially seeing the manipulation by getting 2 different reactions out of 2 highly correlated assets. So we're on the daily on both the S&P and Bitcoin. We'll save the 3rd chart for later. Right now, I just want to go over SMT divergence. So we put in higher lows on Bitcoin. Not just yet. We still want to get above this high here, which comes back to the Dixie. That move up on the Dixie could get us a push down lower, but it might not come down and take out the low. The S&P might just stagnate, or it could push down lower as well before it gets a bounce. That would still be SMT divergence because the S&P 500 would be putting in lower lows as Bitcoin is putting in higher lows. That's SMT divergence. Example would be the top here. Where's the top for? Okay, so right here we see higher highs on the S&P, lower highs on Bitcoin, big drop, right? So that's bearish SMT divergence. If you see it at the tops, it's bearish. If you see it at the bottoms, it's bullish. Now let's take a look at, let's change the S&P. Let's change this to ETH USD. Hit enter. Now we've got ETH USD, and this is what I'm watching. Okay, I'm watching ETH USD. Potentially, now currently, if we go off the wicks, it is putting in a higher high. But if we do get the push down, the manipulation down because of the tariff stuff tomorrow, then that could push Bitcoin to the downside, and that could push Ethereum to the downside. But what that would do is create potentially SMT divergence, where Bitcoin puts in a higher low and Ethereum puts in a lower low. That's SMT divergence, and we get a W bottom out of here. This is an old order block. Now, going to bring up ETH BTC. Now, ETH BTC has already put in a lower low. Doesn't really matter what this does. The main thing about ETH There we go. The main thing about ETH BTC is, let's zoom it on out. It has come down and it has swept the low that was created just prior to the last low, prior to the breakout from this range. So we've come down, we've swept that low, we've come into high time frame demand on the ETH BTC chart. These things can move quicker and irrationally than you think. Okay, more irrationally than you think. It doesn't mean that any of this is a guarantee. This is just what I've been looking at and what I am considering as a bullish scenario. If we are to get the one last hurrah that I'm still expecting until we break significant market structure, which we haven't yet. It's been correct to be bullish or bearish rather during all of this because of all of the uncertainty. And tomorrow might be the last time that we get the same kind of uncertainty, at least regarding the tariffs, because it seems like the tariffs are what have been driving this market the most. But we can see a lot of chop in here. Let's go ahead and put this back on the single chart. Now, let's bring up, shout out to Chart Prime. Hold on. There we go. Shout out to Chart Prime. Let's take a look at that. Jesse, what's going on? Jesse, hope you're doing well. Shout out to Chart Prime. Let's go ahead and take a look at the Market Oracle Pro because I do want to look at the dynamic reactor. We are still sitting below the dynamic reactor on the daily chart. And if we zoom out to the weekly chart, we are still well above the weekly chart. So as far as that's concerned, daily could be temporarily bearish. Okay. Temporary before we get back above the dynamic reactor. And this is what I kind of, like I said, this is what I want to see. I want to see us break this high and then consolidate on top of the dynamic reactor, but also on top of these highs. Consolidate here and then start pushing to the upside. Probability increases the more I look at these charts. Just going off charts, not fundamental data. Here we have a weekly fair value gap that we have come down into. We tapped the midpoint perfectly and we pushed away. And we've been closing candles above that fair value gap. This is actually a pretty significant bounce here. Just based off of your smart money concepts, we get the break of the high over here. Okay, with quick energetic move, displacement that creates what? Fair value gaps. So you look for the fair value gaps, and this is any time frame. You look for the fair value gaps that are created during breakouts, break of structures. You want to see the fair value gaps come down, and you want to see them hold as support. And right now, it is holding as support. And we are still just not seeing what I need to see in order to go full bear mode. SMA, 52-week, still sitting well above the 52-week SMA. This has been our support this entire bull run. I mean, we've just been steady on top of it. This market didn't end until we really broke. It didn't really end until we broke that 52-week SMA, and currently we are still sitting above that 52-week SMA. So 200 daily SMA. We are, make sure that's day. Yep. We are sitting above it, fighting that 200-day SMA. Another reason to get above this high in the dynamic reactor is because that would be bullish, or at least it would be a point towards the bulls if we could get above that 52-week SMA and the dynamic reactor. But so far, so good as far as getting the bounce. Didn't even get a close below the weekly midpoint on the daily chart. Instead, we came down to it and bounced right off of it and have been fighting that 200 daily SMA ever since. Now, that move that I was talking about earlier, potential of the fair value gap on the daily before we push to the upside and go choppy chop chop and then continue higher. So let's take a look. We're 50-50 now on the, oh nope, 53, oh 50-50, 20 votes. Wow, 50-50. How many of you have changed your vote since I've started streaming? So yeah, take a look at the Prime Oscillator Pro Plus. Don't forget to check out Chart Prime. Get your first month, get 45% off your first month of the subscription. Link in the description below. As if it would be anywhere else. Later, Jesse. Have a good evening. Or sleep. See ya later today in your day. All right. The Prime Oscillator Pro, we're still sitting in the red on our money flow, but we can see we're starting to see some curvature pointing towards the upside. We're also got a nice bounce here on our trend ribbon. However, this could still come in and do something like this. If we do get that down move before we move to the upside, potentially. Yes, see, BC. I'm LBC, not BC. BC is BC Port Corp, aka Blackie Chan. So yeah, I'm still short-term cautiously bullish. I should say short-term cautiously bearish, really, because I do think that we could get that move down tomorrow just because of the news. But news tends to be a manipulator, not a driver of price. Okay? It tends to manipulate price one way to get people wrong-footed before reversing the other way. Let's check out our crypto fear and greed index. Steadily just kind of rising. Okay, steadily kind of rising. Have we seen anything like this before? No. If we come back over here when we were putting in our bottom, that crypto fear and greed was kind of trending sideways and up, just like we are here. We're a lot more erratic where we are now, of course. Manipulate sounds like my ex. What's up, JR? Hope you're doing. I've missed the screen with the L apparently. What? What's going on, JR? Hope you're doing well. JR's been throwing them trades up in the Piper Discord. Link to the Discord pinned in the chat. If you are watching the watch back, make sure you go to the description and join the Piper Academy Discord. We do have a free section, but if you really want all the sauce, make sure you grab yourself. And yeah, that's all you need. That's all you need. Got some great traders in the group. So yeah. Sorry, I was just reading the chat. A bus flipped over the highway this late. What's up, RS Miller? A bus flipped over the highway this late afternoon with school kids in it. A dust devil or cloud dust at 55 miles an hour. It sideways and close I-10 both directions. Oh man, hate to hear that. Hope everybody's doing. Hope everybody. Yeah, no, I haven't much more than that. I've next to a hospital. We live next to a hospital, and it's been busy. Well, hopefully all those kids and everyone else that was involved in that, are okay and make speedy recoveries from any potential injuries. Hate to hear that. So yeah, crypto, fear and greed, not looking too shabby. Starting to get a little bit more. We're still in fear, so we're sitting at 43. So still in fear. Haven't quite gotten into that neutral yet. And then bearish scenarios, but we can always go over it again. And that is just, this is just a little fake out to the upside, and we just continue lower. But what do you want me to say? Come down, sweep these lows here, and then maybe we'll get some kind of white swan event that bottoms us out, and then we can get going and get out of here. But right now, I'm just kind of chilling, just kind of waiting. I'm not really chilling. I'm day trading. I love the volatility. The volatility lately has been very nice. And the breaker blocks keep playing, guys. Maybe a bandage. What's going on, fam? Hope you're doing well. 22 positions. Wow, JR. I don't know what y'all are talking about, but wow, JR. All right. Let's go over some trades that I wanted to start going over some altcoins, since I do think they might become relevant here soon. Because I'm just crazy. I'm just mad, I guess. I'm just mad. I'm not telling you that things are going to be all right. Before I do move on, I just want to say that if Bitcoin has bottomed out, okay? Let's just say that it does exactly what I am kind of anticipating at this moment, and that's a pullback, a little bit more of a pullback before a move to the upside. Okay, whoops. Which actually doesn't even have to happen, but because I want ETH to put in a lower low so that we get SMT divergence, I kind of want it to happen. Doesn't necessarily have to happen, but either way, still would be the same W pattern. Even if this happens, okay, and we do get just straight line up, this top of the market for a while. So if top chat, I need to go to live chat. If this is what we get, I'm not looking for Bitcoin to go that much higher, okay? As a matter of fact, my price target is $130,000. $130,000. 129 and some change, really. And that's it. if we are to get a move up, if this is what we get, that's going to be it. Don't ask me what's going to get us up here. I have no idea. Maybe, let's just say Trump does the whole tariff thing, and then all of a sudden, country after country starts lifting their tariffs on the U.S., and the U.S. starts lifting our tariffs on everybody else, and we start opening up free global trade, maximize free trade. That gets capital flowing, that gets the liquidity flowing, and that's what we need. That's one possible what's the word? Narrative. That's one possible narrative. Or, and hear me out on this, we have seen trillions of dollars wiped out from the stock market. It would only take $200 billion, or was it 20 to $50 billion to push Bitcoin to these levels and higher. Really could get it up to 150K, but I don't think that that's what we're going to get. I think that this would be where the buck stops. Could be wrong on that, but this would be where the buck stops. All that capital, think about it. That capital doesn't just go nowhere. You know, the trillions of dollars that have left or have been pulled from the stock market didn't just go nowhere. They're sitting, that money is sitting somewhere, or it's getting loaded up into riskier assets like Bitcoin and crypto and small caps. And that's another thing. Got to look at that Russell 2000. We need the Russell. Go to the weekly. We need the Russell to break it, just even if it's just barely 2,500 points and then rolls over. That is all Bitcoin needs to get that move. Because what that would show is that breadth is opening up in the market, which could just be an initial liquidity injection off of people removing their tariffs and free trade starting to open up. That would be the last hurrah before the big correction. I can't pull up the heat map because my stream will probably die. But what I can look at, and something that I did want to go over, because I was looking at that pre-stream, of course. Let's go drop down to the daily. Piper's probably mad because I'm not as bearish as him, and I'm giving the hopium. Here's something else we got to do before we actually get bearish, okay? We got to break this high, we got to break this downwards resistance, okay? So it's more of like we're in a holding pattern. We're just waiting. We're waiting to see what Bitcoin's going to do, okay? That's as Alex O always says, trading is waiting. So, and nothing could be closer to the truth. Trading is waiting. Waiting for your setup, waiting for the moves, all that good stuff. Gonna try and catch up on my sleep after the show. Oh, after this show. Yep, I hear you, man. What's going on, Bandage? All right, so oh yeah, so fixed range volume profile. So actually, I want to come in even closer in here because I want to take in this range. Let's remove drawings actually. Hello, thank you. All right, fixed range volume profile, and we're just going to take in this whole lower range. We have today broken and got a strong break above the point of control of this range. We could simply just get a pullback to the point of control at $84,220 before continuing to the upside. However, we do have some relatively equal lows in here. But this is a pretty bullish move in here. However, we've seen the pretty bullish moves before that got corrections and then led to further moves to the upside. Just taking a bars pattern. I know people like to poo-poo bars patterns, but when you're in the markets and you've seen the markets as much as I have, you understand that these things tend to play out. These fractals in these markets play out over and over and over again. That's not an exact one-to-one, but you could see potentially we get a manipulation up to this top side order block. Okay, manipulation up to that top side order block. And then this is during the day tomorrow, maybe the ADP. We also have ADP non-farm payroll or unemployment or employment change. I'll have to look it up. This week. All right, so Wednesday at 8:15, it is ADP non-farm employment change. What this is it's the estimated change in the number of employed people during the previous month, excluding the farming industry and the government. The data provides an early look at employment growth, usually 2 days ahead of the government released employment data that is designed to mimic source change series calculation. Why traders care. Job creation is an important leading indicator of consumer spending, which accounts for a majority of overall economic activity. So we can almost say that any kind of positive data on that could give us a manipulative move to the upside. Then come the time Trump speaks tomorrow. Once Trump starts speaking about tariffs, we get a potential move to the downside. Then let's say we come in the next day, we get more economic data, a little bit more chop, and then all of a sudden we start getting a bunch of, or let's say we just get some major players in the whole tariff trade war saying, all right, we're going to end our reciprocal tariffs on the U.S. Is that what we need? Is that what we need? Because then Trump could say, yep, I'm cool with that. Let's end the tariffs. I'll get rid of our tariffs. All is go, right? This also down to this point of control. And then we'll see if we can get that push above a nice strong close above this high. That's it. I mean, I've given you every scenario. I hate giving like multiple different scenarios of how things could play out, but the main thing remains getting above this high and closing above this high. That is going to be the main thing if we are to be bullish. Outside of that, it doesn't really matter what happens in the range. As long as we get that break above the high and we close above it, then I think we will be good to continue to the upside. So we'll just have to wait and see what the what the market or moon gods provide us. We'll hope. We can only hope. Now we do have this trend here that we would have to watch as well. So even if we do get a break up, like I said, I would want to see some consolidation, or kind of expect some consolidation, some chop, maybe even for like a whole week. After a breakout, chop up traders. Are we going lower? Oh no, and then it goes again. We get something like this, and then altcoins start to move to the upside. I mean, at the same time that we're seeing some alts start to bottom against Bitcoin. Tradefly, my guy. Sorry, stepped on you a little bit there, bro. You're good, man. I ain't worried about it. I was just like, man, this mofo. He knows I'll go live right now. But I understand you got to get in where you can fit in. You know what I mean? So I get it, man. It's all good, man. It's all good. You do what you got to do, and then Litecoin, Bitcoin. What is Litecoin doing? Last low before the push up, coming back into that order block, or more like this rejection block. So potentially Litecoin coming down into that low where we see more things bottoming against Bitcoin. Let's go to HBAR BTC. HBAR BTC. What are we doing over here? Oh, we had a nice breakout and we're getting a pullback. Go ahead, pull a fib on that. All right, currently sitting at the golden pocket. Could go a little bit lower. Like I said, if we are to see lower because of the tariffs, it could just be short-lived. However, we can see the clear break above the highs over here, and now we're just getting a pullback and potentially getting another push to the upside. So bullish on HBAR. Curve Dow, another one I've been watching, kind of what I'm looking for with HBAR. Got that nice pull back, creating a lot of equal lows down here. I'm not sure if those work the same on BTC pairings as they do on regular charts, but it has gotten a pull back up here to the golden pocket. So I'll roll over to that 8A6. Probably wouldn't be too terrible, and also this would complete, I can just spot this, man, complete a 5-wave crashing structure. So just getting down there, maybe to that 886 or a tad lower for Curve Dow before it makes its move, breaking out of here and moving to the highs. Mark Dutch in the house. What is going on, Dutchy fam? Hope you're doing well. Mark Dutch and the Funky Bunch. Absolutely love it and love you. Also, nope. So yeah, I like Curve, XRP, BTC. So another big one. Got that big bounce, breaking highs, holding the highs. It's been holding the highs for weeks at this point, since December. I guess months at this point. This is a weekly chart, so been holding the highs. I don't know what these lines are here for. Been holding the highs up here pretty good, putting in higher highs as it moves to the upside, other than, you know, manipulation wick, but overall holding the lows And while the XRP price chart is actually putting in lower lows, which would give us a divergence between the Bitcoin and the USD pairings, a bullish divergence, that is. So I still think that this does have the potential for more upside in it as well. Big moves coming for XRP. I really do think so. They're just too interlinked with the Trump administration. So, especially considering that we'll probably be using a lot of stable coins. XRP is good at moving stable coins and holding liquidity. It's like kind of like Ripple's whole thing. We'll see. What's going on, Jason? Yeah, fingers crossed is right. Fingers crossed is right. So there's your hopium. Take a look. Go take a look at the S&P 500. Now, we have from this low to this high. Let me go ahead and turn on the fluid trades. Oh, it says I'm on a weekly. Let's go to the daily. All right, so from low to the new high, come down, sweep the lows, come down into discount, which is below the 50% level of the range from the low to the high. What up? Better connection tonight. That's funny because I keep seeing that I'm dropping frames in the corner of my eye. So, but I'm glad to hear that. So I'm just looking for the same W pattern in here. Now, we do have equal highs up here. So, if the S&P really gets going, if the S&P, I don't know that it would do that. It could do something like that, but if the S&P breaks out into new all-time high, it is all but a guarantee. So not a guarantee, but all but a guarantee that Bitcoin will break out into a new all-time high. Because the capital, they're highly correlated. So, but if we are to get a move up like this across the board, you know, on your S&P, on your NASDAQ, there's another SMT divergence between your S&P and your NASDAQ, with the NASDAQ putting in lower lows and your S&P putting in higher lows. So that is another SMT divergence, bullish SMT divergence. And then coming over here to our Dow Jones, and it is putting in higher highs. So we're getting some mixed signals between the three major indices on the lows, which is good. That's good. That's divergence. And we have equal highs here on the Dow Jones as well. If we can get that move up, then I would expect for Bitcoin to put in the same kind of move. We've come into premium or into discount, have popped back into premium, popped back into discount, starting to push back to the upside, and then we'll see what it does once it gets up into the resistance. I think it is likely to come up and at least sweep the highs, because equal highs and equal lows, as I always say, love to get taken out. So, yeah, that is kind of what I am looking for us to be bullish. The miners really had a nice day, huh? Mining stocks had a nice day. Oh, wait, that wasn't mining. That was the spot ETFs. Bitcoin mining did have a nice day. Yep. Nice day for CleanSpark, 12.5%. Nice big push to the upside. CleanSpark also putting in a divergence compared to the Bitcoin price chart. Bitcoin price chart, remember, is putting in higher lows, while Clean Spark is sitting here putting in lower lows. Let's see if it's the same thing for other miners. Let's see. Let's take a look at Hut. Hut, relatively equal lows, but still putting in that same W pattern and looking for a break above those highs. Now this one's a little bit more flat. It does put in a slightly higher low, but if it's any close to being like flat, I still consider that as just neutral to me. And anything on the other end of that, whether it's, you know, something like Bitcoin coming in and putting in higher lows, or Bitcoin coming in and putting in lower lows, either way, a neutral, this would be a neutral divergence on the bottom side. So they do play out as bullish divergences and bearish divergences. So if you have Bitcoin putting in higher highs and Ethereum putting in equal highs, that is still going to be a bearish SMT divergence. And yeah, well, I'm going for H bar tonight. Mark after dark. Audio is better for sure. Well, that's good. Hopefully we can, hopefully I can keep working, tinkering around the edges and see if I can't get the whole internet thing fixed. But yeah, there's your bullish hopium. Piper was scaring the crap out of you during his stream today, and I'm trying to say, well, the chart still hasn't really done anything to tell me that we can't go higher. Or yeah, that it's not telling me that it's impossible. I think we still have major structures that we have to break, major levels that we have to break before we go into full bear mode. But you never know. You never know. But the audio and charts look fine, just camera lag. What's up, JB? What's going on? Camera's lagging. Well, I need a better PC is all it is. That's all it is to it. Just need a better PC. But that is a ways away, probably. But anyways, guys, I appreciate every single one of you for being here and smashing up that like button and sticking around through all of the lag and the choppiness and all of that technical issue stuff. But let's make sure that we are safe tomorrow. If you are intraday trading, just know that stop hunts are unlikely, okay? So keep that in mind. What I am doing is I am marking off previous day highs and lows and previous 4-hour candle high and low. So once a 4-hour candle closes, mark off the high and the lows of the 4-hour candle and even the midpoint. So draw a Fibonacci tool, put a Fibonacci tool from the bottom of the wick to the top of the wick of the 4-hour candle, and just have the 50% level on there. Look for reaction of these levels in the next 4-hour candle, but drop it down to the 15-minute to use as your entry time frame. Look for the reversal after levels are taken out or liquidity has been taken. Then you look for the reversal, or if you get a continuation to the upside, we look for a breakout and a pullback and a retest, and then off and away we go, hopefully. But until then, trade safe. It's going to be a wild one for the rest of the week between the economic data and the tariff stuff. So strap in, use proper risk management. I would say at this time, lower your margin and your leverage, probably. So, not financial advice, just saying, might be a good idea. Might be a good idea to kind of, or just sit it out and just wait. Especially if you aren't very experienced with intraday trading and scalping. So just be careful. It's going to be a crazy few days, and it might even be a crazy month to 2 months. We shall see. We might be heading towards a sell in May and go away type of situation. But until then, we just ride the waves of the market all the way to the moon. I'm Lunar Beaches Crypto, and I hope you all have an amazing, beautiful, wonderful, radical sleep, and I will catch you all tomorrow. Peace out, mad love. Holla at your boy. Good night. Bye.
Welcome to the night where we light up the spark. We're trading crypto, find out you'll be mad on the charts. Hosted by the one Lunar Beaches top shark. Dive deep into the numbers cause this ain't no lark. We're crunching all the data, making money moves fast. From Wall Street to the blockchain, making predictions last. Community together in this financial blast. Markets after dark, I shatter ceilings made of glass. Mad on the charts with Lunar's bright lights. Crypto markets soaring through the night. Follow the trend, see future in sight. It's markets after dark, live financial flight. From Bitcoin to Ethereum, we're mapping the road. Stock tips and insights, secrets ready to unload. Trading strategies, sharp on knowledge be showed. Let Lunar Beaches guide you to the mother lode. Economic loops and the way the dollar flows. Community vibes where everybody grows. Analyzing trends while the world lays low. Markets after dark where only brilliant shows. Hit that subscribe and join the ride. In the world of finance where fortunes collide. Lunar's path will be your guide. Through the market storm or the market tide. On the charts with Lunar's bright light. Crypto markets soaring through the night. From Bitcoin markets soaring fast. Markets after dark, I shatter ceilings made of glass. Mad on the charts with Lunar's bright light. Crypto markets soaring through the night. Follow the trend, see the future in sight. It's markets after dark, the financial flight. From Bitcoin to Ethereum, we're mapping the road. Stock tips and insights, secrets ready to unload. Trading strategies, sharp on knowledge be showed. Let Lunar Beaches guide you to the motherland.